Welcome to my channel AI Basics with AK. Here we are with another new episode from Introduction to Python Programming. So, as said in the last week, we have divided the strings into 2 episodes, but however, I am dividing into 3 episodes considering the content. And for this episode as well, there will be no demo. So the demo for all these 3 episodes, that is episode 4th, 5th and 6th, we'll be having it on 7th of April. So let's delve into this week's content. Episode 5. And for today's episode, we will have only one topic for our discussion, that is only the string operations. These we have discussed in the last episode, and this we will discuss in the next episode. So, string operations, there are multiple string operations. Let me just skim through all the slides. There is a split, join, if you can see it in the 2 tabs here. And there is strip. And we have something called find, replace, and then there is a case statement. So these are the 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 5 string operations that we will discuss in today's episode. So coming to the split. The split is, it's about the splitting a string. Here you can see it out. We have declared a variable as it is a very beautiful day. And we have printed this variable, which you can see it here. Here in this command, we are splitting the variable var.split. And we are storing it in a variable split variable. And then we are printing this variable in a new line. Here I have kept it as a new line just to give some space between this print statement and this print statement. And you can see it here. Okay, it has successfully splitted into 6 characters. It is a very beautiful day. Also, here we had splitted without any arguments. You can give any arguments. Argument by default is a space. So by default, it will split by a space here. Say for example, if you want to split by D here, it will split accordingly. So here it has splitted into 2 separate strings. That is, it is a very beautiful with space. D is actually split, so that's why D is not there, and AY with an exclamation is a second string. Also, you can split it by exclamation, which is at the last one, which actually has split it into 2 variables, one with a string which is it is a very beautiful day, and one with an empty string, because after that it is nothing is there, but it tries to find it because we are trying to split it by exclamation. So it says that okay, after exclamation there is nothing, so it's an empty string. So here we will see another new example here. Here we are trying to split by dollar. What we will do with this entire example is that assume that I want to extract 10 from this entire string. Here I will showcase a demonstration how we can extract 10 here. First, we are declaring a variable. I have $10 cash with me. In the next statement, we are printing that variable, which also showcased as I have $10 cash with me. In the next statement, we have used the var.split, which is a command for splitting this variable, which is var is the original variable of the string, and .split is we are using the string operations, and by using what separator here, the dollar symbol separate. By using this operation, we are storing this output into a split variable, which we are printing it, which has printed in 2 different strings, which is I have 10 and cash with me with an exclamation. So if I want to read or extract only the first of this two string splits, we can extract by indexing. Even though this is a list indexing, but you can think intuitively like a string indexing as well. This has an index place, like an address place of 0, and this has an address place of 1. So we can extract the first, that is I have 10, using the indexing concept that we have learned in the previous episode by mentioning split variable with an index 0. So it has given that, okay, in this index 0, I have 10 is living in that index. Now we can further split this because this is a string. Now this we have further splitted, since there is no inputs parameters that was given. Like earlier here we have given dollar, here we have not given anything. So by default this will take space as a default input. So accordingly the I have 10 has splitted by space, which has resulted in 3 separate strings with I have and 10. Since we want to extract 10 which lives in index 0, 1, 2, so I can extract that using that index, which is second. So finally we have extracted 10 number from this statement, which is I have $10 cash with me. So this is just a very, very small example. We are trying to showcase with a very basic simple statement how we can extract meaningful information from a text as well. So this 10 number, say for example there are hundreds of statements like this, we can extract from a text automatically the numbers that we want to do for our further numerical computations. Isn't so beautiful? Now let's jump into join. As you would have expected, split is nothing but we are splitting a string into multiple shorter strings based upon our split condition. Similarly, join is nothing but we want to concatenate multiple strings into a one larger string based on our join criteria. Here, if you can see it out here, we are using the same split variable that we have discussed in the last split discussion, that is I have 10 and with a space cash with me an exclamation. Here we are just concatenating this both statement, so there is no space or nothing, it's just an empty string. Empty string means we are just concatenating these both statements. We are concatenating them, so that's why it has just joined. We can also concatenate them with a dollar symbol. So we have restored the original statement, which we have splitted this exact statement using a dollar symbol. Here we are declaring a list variable using 5 strings. I want to dance now with an exclamation. Here we are, if we can carefully observe, we are joining these strings using a space. I want to dance now, all has been joined with a space here. Similarly, instead of a space, which is bar, I have given string space as a join statement. So what it has printed is that I space want space to space and space now with an exclamation. Isn't so beautiful? Instead of actually using this, we can declare the separator as something like this, and then the variable list something like this, and then we can, here we have, instead of earlier we have given some code space string as an input, or here dollar as a join input to the join statement, or else here the empty string as an input for the join statement. Here we have given join separator, which is a declared string variable which has a space percentage ampersand space. So this is our join for the variable that we have declared above. So we are joining these statements, that which is this is just an example, by using this join condition, which is space percentage ampersand and space, which is thus similarly we can see this output here clearly. So this is what I was saying saying previously, that this variable is a type of class list. We have not discussed this list, which we'll discuss in the next episodes. Okay. Now we have discussed split and join. Now it's a beautiful concept called stripping. Stripping is nothing but removing some unnecessary characters at the beginning or end of a string. Now ideally this is useful whenever there is something in the beginning or in the ending of a string, you want to remove using some condition. It can be a space, it can be some alphabets, or else it can be some numericals, or else it can be something just spaces as well. You want to just whatever it is, you want to strip beginning of a string and ending of a string, you can use this string operation. Here you can see that we have declared a new variable with a space. Wow, there is a tree over there and space. So if you want to just remove those spaces, you can see here it's a very simple statement. New variable dot strip. That's it. By default, it will remove the spaces. That is both at the beginning as well as at the ending. It has removed it. Say for example, if you want to just remove the only on the left hand side part of the string, we can use L strip, where the right side space is still retained. Or else if you want to remove the spaces on whatever it is, it can, here it is a space by default. If you want to remove that, you can use R strip, where the right side is removed but the left side space is retained. Here I have a new variable which I have declared as what the program with two slashes. The same two slashes I have given as a strip, so it has got removed it. So by this intuition you can think that whatever at the end, if we can give as a pattern, this strip identifies that pattern and removes that pattern. Similarly, here we have something called hi with multiple exclamations. I miss you a lot with a dot and something called as a smiley. What I have done here is that I have given those multiple patterns here for to remove it, which is colon, brackets, open and close brackets, dot and exclamation. Since exclamation is in the middle, this doesn't get removed, it will get written. Whatever this matches with at the end or in the beginning, it will get removed. So there is a dots got removed, colon got removed and the brackets got removed. But since we have not given space here, the space got retained. Further, say for example, when we are doing those multiple long statements, you can also add this using an additive operations, because we would have learned in our previous episode that two strings can be concatenated as well using a space. Now this got joined and you can we got the string hi I miss you a lot, where we have removed the trailing special characters including the spaces as well. Isn't it so beautiful? So far we have learnt about split, join and strip. Split, it splits the string into multiple strings on the other side, join joins the multiple string into one string. And whereas strip removes any other characters or any other string matches that we give it as an input. Now find is a very beautiful, especially to find a specific word within a larger sentence. Here we have declared a variable using three quotations, which we have discussed in our previous episode, with multiple You Know My Name. You Know My Name is a lovely song that I love it, from Casino Royale movie. Here we want to find you. So whenever we use the find as a statement, it gives the index place of you, that is the first character of the you. Although there are multiple you statements, this find has a limitation. Whenever you use find you, it identifies the first you word and gives the starting index of it. Since you is the first word and its starting index is 0, it gives the 0 as an output. Where an R find is the rightmost, that is the last one. So out of them, the last one is this U. And when you count all the characters, this starting Y character index is 85, which is what it gives. Whenever we give a word which is not there in this variable, say here we have given something as U, where YOU is entire thing is in small. Whenever something is not there, it gives an output as -1. Also, this is highly useful whenever we are discussing strings and regular expressions, which we will discuss in the next seasons. I think I might not be able to cover those things in the current season, because I want to discuss the base Python programming for this season. Now, here we want to start with, we are trying to identify whether this variable starts with you. So it gives a Boolean output. True. Does it ends with name? It has given as a false, because there is something called a new line here, because I'm closing it as a next line. So we have to ask whether that it ends with a new line. Then it has given a Boolean output which says true. Got it? Similarly, I can ask it how many times this u variable is repeating. Say for example, here if I had given as var dot count as u, the output would be 6. Similarly, say for example, let's declare some new variable here with the variable 2. Say I will go to gym now. When I use var2 dot count and then I give something as I, the output will be 1. So there are final 2 string operations that we will discuss for today's episode. One is replace. So the replace is something that, say for example, we find you and I want to replace you with I. We can just use variable dot replace. What is the word that you want to replace and what is the word that you want to replace with. So I want to replace you with I, so you first comes first and I comes later. So here earlier there is you know my name, now I know my name. Similarly, I can give how many times you want to replace it. Here I have kept it 3. So only 3 times it got replaced. The next 3 times it has retained the original you know my name. Similarly, if there are 100 patterns or 200 patterns, we can identify such patterns and manually replace those patterns in how many lines we desire for it, or how many patterns we want to replace it. On the right hand side, I could not see a case statement here when I'm using a tab, but when I'm using my desktop, I could see it. So I'll open the case statement discussions in a separate sheet. Okay, so here we have discussed about replace. Now you can see it on the right hand side, which is a case statement. So here the case statement, I am a spiritual cognitive scientist, where I want to capitalize it. So once I do capitalize, it capitalizes the first string, which is I am. If I want to capitalize each and every character in that entire string, then I have to use upper. If I want to convert everything into lower, we want to use lower. Similarly, if I want to capitalize first character in each and every word, that is I in am, I want to capitalize A, in spiritual I want to capitalize S, then I'll be using where.title. Now, if I want to capitalize the alternative, instead of S, I want to capitalize the other words altogether, I'll be using swap case. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 case statements we are actually learned in string operations. Capitalizes, it capitalizes the first character, upper all characters to uppercase, lower all characters to lowercase, title character, beginning character of each and every word gets into an uppercase. Swap case, whatever upper will become lower, whatever lower will become upper. Simple. So that's it. If you want to open and practice whatever we have discussed, you can click on this Google Colab link. Automatically it will opens the Google Colab with those variables. I request you to practice these as well as these things with multiple examples as per your wish before proceeding to this week's homework. Okay, so if you want to delete these things, you can delete it, and then you have to connect and sign into your Google account, and then you can start experimenting on these examples that we have discussed in the today's class. Now let's jump into the homework. Homework is very simple. The one is that just pick any true string operators that we have discussed, at least two, with out of split, join, strip, find, replace, and the case statements that we have discussed. Now, what are those limitations? There should be some limitations, right? Just think before googling or asking ChatGPT. Just think what are its limitations, and provide your answers. Here I will change the question to text, which is not the right text. I think I have used the same text that is there for homework 4. So what I was mentioning is that there are 3 sub questions to question 2. So there is a string here, Python. There is a space here. Don't forget about it. Space. Python is a versatile and programming language used for web development, comma space data analysis, comma space artificial intelligence, and much more, with an exclamation and ending with a smiley. Question 2 says, what I'm asking is that remove the trailing spaces and special characters. Split the sentences by comma. Pick one split in the above sentence that is in 2.2 question output and replace any text of your choice. Say, for example, it can be your name. That's it for today. I hope you have enjoyed this week's episode. If you like it, please give a like and share your feedback in your comments. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel, AI Basics with AK. Love you all.